You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
The woman accusing Jay-Z of sexually assaulting her more than 20 years ago when she was 13 is speaking out, and she admits there are inconsistencies in her story.
She's looking for money and fame, releasing a new statement overnight calling for the claims to be actually dismissed.
In a significant turn of event, the woman who recently accused Shah Jay-Z Carter and Shah Diddy Combs of misconduct promises to file suit in court. 7 p.m. Shah Diddy Combs of misconduct. The cases against both music moguls.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet, but it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
The accuser, whose identity remains confidential, filed a civil lawsuit alleging that Jay-Z and Diddy misconducted her at an after-party following the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000. She claimed to have travelled from her home in Rochester to New York City, attended the awards show by watching a jumbotron outside the venue, and later accompanied a limousine driver to a party at a large white residence with a U-shaped driveway, where the alleged misconduct occurred.
ABC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof gerbil ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head.
In a recent interview, the accuser admitted to certain discrepancies in her account. She acknowledged errors in identifying the location of the alleged misconduct and the individuals present. For instance, she initially stated that members of the band Good Charlotte were witnesses. However, it was later revealed that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time and not present at the 2000 MTV VMAs.
Says that she spoke with musician Benji Madden and his brother Joel at the after-party. Benji is married to actress Cameron Diaz.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background, so it was just something to talk about.
But in a statement, the Madden brothers say they did not attend the 2000 VMAs. Inside Edition found this document establishing that on September 7th, 2000, the night of the VMAs, the Maddens were giving a concert at the Vic Theater in Chicago.
Additionally, the accuser's father, whom she claimed had driven 5 hours to pick her up from New York City after the incident, does not recall making such a trip. Furthermore, permits and photographs from that night indicate there was no jumbotron outside the VMAs.
The woman also claims after the alleged assault, she ran to a gas station and called her father, who drove 5 hours from Rochester, New York, to pick her up and return home. But NBC says when they contacted her father, he says he can't recall the incident. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind. The woman filing the lawsuit against Jay-Z says it is possible that her father doesn't remember.
One of the things that stood out to me, Phil, was her father. Her father was also contacted by the news media because in her interview, she says her dad picked her up from Sean Diddy Combs' home after the rape, she said, that occurred after, she said, Jay-Z and Sean Combs raped her. Her dad said he had no recollection of this incident. And clearly a dad, as he said, would remember something this serious, this egregious. So I think there are some serious questions that need to be answered. And the way you get those questions answered when you are a defendant in a lawsuit is by filing the kind of motion that I anticipate we'll see filed by Jay-Z's law firm, because there are questions about the credibility of this accused.
Jay-Z's attorney, Alex SPO, has been vocal in challenging evidence corresponding to the allegations he described. The accuser's story is provably, demonstrably false, citing the aforementioned inconsistencies and emphasizing the lack of corroborative evidence. Spiro stated, "It's not just that this story is a lie, and that it's not true."
Woman is standing by her story. It happened over 20 years ago. Maybe her memory is hazy. Maybe her father doesn't remember that night.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. She says, I'm positive. She points out the tattoo. She talks about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's completely false. And the father is supposed to be picking her up. 10-hour drive, round trip to pick her up in the middle of the night. Has no memory of that. No one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never happened.
Jay-Z has good reason to ask for this case to be dismissed. The accuser came out and did an interview. Now, we didn't get to see her face. We didn't get to learn her name. But in the interview, she gave some statements that were inconsistent with the statements that, or the accusations, I should say, that are made in her lawsuit. And it does raise serious questions about the credibility of this accuser.
Jay-Z himself has vehemently denied the allegations, referring to them as a blackmail attempt and expressing frustration over the damage to his reputation. He emphasized his support for true victims of misconduct, stating, "My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world."
Rap and media mogul Jay-Z now accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Sean Diddy Combs. Now, this lawsuit was originally filed back in October in the Southern District of New York, listing Diddy as the defendant. But it was just refiled today to include Jay-Z now, whose real name is Sean Carter. Of course, he's the husband of Beyonce.
This morning, disturbing new claims against music icon Jay-Z. A civil lawsuit detailing sexual assault, originally brought against his longtime friend Sean Diddy Combs, now adding new allegations against the rapper whose real name is Sean Carter, claims both men deny. The anonymous woman, who was 13 at the time, described in the lawsuit as being drugged and raped at an MTV VMAs after party she says Combs hosted in 2000. According to the suit, she recalls accepting a drink from a waitress that made her feel woozy and lightheaded before she says she was raped by Jay-Z and then Combs in a bedroom as an unnamed female celebrity watched.
The legal case was filed by attorney Tony Busby, who is also representing multiple other claimants. Against Diddy, the plaintiff, identified only as Jane Doe, seeks anonymity, which Jay-Z's legal team has challenged, arguing for the CA's dismissal or disclosure of the accuser's identity to ensure fairness.
Lawsuit is significant for several reasons. First of all, this lawsuit was filed by Tony Busby. This is that Texas attorney who claims to represent over 100 alleged victims of Sean Combs, and he indicated in the past that he would name names. And there was reporting, particularly by TMZ, that high-profile people had reached out to him to settle claims so that they wouldn't be listed in lawsuits. They wouldn't be named in lawsuits.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock